Hello and welcome back to ERU, where we round up the biggest results and talking points from across European football. Joining me today, it's a real treat for you. It's Henry Hill. How are you, Henry, on this Monday morning?
I'm not sure treat is the word I describe for it. But yes, hello everyone. I'm well, thank you. I've had a very European weekend. Obviously, sat down and watched Eurovision on Saturday night. Good old nil point for the UK once more. And then I went to IKEA yesterday and then watched all the European football. So I feel fully ready for whatever we're going to be discussing today.
Good man, good man. Yeah, a lot of action across Europe. I want to give a quick mention of Sunderland as well, who won their second leg semi-final, but that defeat in that first leg, that 2-0 first leg defeat, meant that it was too much to do, and we are staying in League One for a fourth year, so I now just support a completely average League One side. But anyway, let's get into the European action, because there is plenty to discuss, and we are kicking off with our story of the week, which concerns a transfer between Antoine Griezmann and Paulo Dybala potentially taking place. What's going on with this one, Henry?
It's interesting. When you mentioned this to me, I thought we'd be talking about Cristiano Ronaldo. Obviously, he was dropped from the starting 11 for their crunch game against Napoli, which congratulations, not against Napoli, but congratulations to Juventus. They've obviously come through and claimed that Champions League spot after Napoli failed to beat Hellas Verona at home 1-1. So congratulations to Juventus there. So we thought Ronaldo, there's all these talks about him loading up his cars and sort of moving on again, but no, it is in fact a swap deal, as you say, between Antoine Griezmann and Paulo Dybala, which is getting a lot of traction. That's according to La Stampa, which is a Turin-based newspaper over there. But there's a slight complication here in the fact that, Griezmann is 30 years old and he's apparently reluctant to leave Barcelona after a much improved second season. He earns reported 18 million euros a year. I'm not surprised that he is enjoying his time in Barcelona. I'm quite surprised to see that they maybe want to let him go too. But, it looks like there will be space for him in that Juventus side. Douglas Costa looks like he's off to join Gremio. So that's 5 million euros off their wages. De Sciglio is set to leave after his loan spell at Lyon. And, Buffon is obviously moving on to another chapter. There's other potential departures within that squad as well. But it is quite surprising. I mean, if you look at the age difference between the two, sort of the difference in form, and if also you look at some of Barcelona's potential incomings, I'm quite surprised at this one, Dougie. I'm not sure how you feel about it.
Yeah, I'm very surprised too. I think basically people think that with Depay and Aguero possibly joining Barcelona, it looks very likely, at least in Aguero's case, that'll be wrapped up in the next couple of weeks, that maybe they'll shift an attacker, but I'm surprised if it's going to be Griezmann. I thought they're more likely to try and get Coutinho off their wage bill as well. And it doesn't really make sense from a Juventus perspective either. Griezmann's 3 years older than Dybala, and he has shown some improved form at Barcelona, but he's only scored 13 league goals this season, with his 13th coming in Barcelona's 1-0 win over Elche on Saturday. So there doesn't seem a massive upside in signing Griezmann for Juventus' perspective, or for Barcelona, really. Griezmann has now scored 6 goals in his last 9 games and 20 goals in 51 games in all competitions this season. So some renewed form, but it's not the sort of signing that's going to instantly, transform Juve into Champions League winners in the next few years with his age as well. Dybala, as well, from Barcelona's perspective, might be significantly younger, but he's had a horrible season with injuries, missed 21 games. So with Depay and Aguero coming in, do they really need to tie up another attacker who probably is going to play in the best position? His best position is probably where Messi plays right now. I just don't see this happening whatsoever. We wouldn't be surprised, though, if Dybala did leave to another club. Juve might have qualified for the Champions League, courtesy of Napoli's draw with Hellas Verona last night, as we said. But with Dybala currently on 13.5 million euros per season, and having played a pretty minor role this year because of injury with only 14 league starts, it might be time for Juve to sell either one of Dybala or Cristiano Ronaldo this summer. Apparently Man United, Chelsea and Spurs are all reportedly interested in Dybala. To be honest, I think that's paper talk. And of those clubs, only Spurs really makes sense. And will he want to swap Champions League Juve for UEFA Conference League Spurs? I'm not so sure. It will be interesting to see what happens with Ronaldo, though. As Henry said at the start, he was left on the bench last night, supposedly tired, etc. Didn't seem very happy. Multiple reports continue to link him with Man United, but after Edinson Cavani's extended his stay, they're going for Sancho. I don't really see where he's going to go either, to be honest. So, Henry, I mean, do you see Dybala leaving? Do you see Ronaldo leaving? And which of them would you prefer to keep at this stage?
Well, I think Dybala looked like he was getting a bit more traction in the side come the end of the year. I'm quite intrigued to see what Juventus do now that they've actually secured Champions League football in terms of even from the managerial perspective. I'd like to see Dybala stay and fight for his position there. I'm not sure the market's quite there for him to leave. Ronaldo, on the other hand, I could see him going back to Real Madrid in a funny way, but that's the only kind of move I can see happening. I think he's maybe a little bit fed up with life in Serie A. That would be my take on the situation.
There we have it. Henry Hill saying Ronaldo, sensational return back to Real Madrid. What a story that would be. Guys, get your thoughts about Dybala and Griezmann swapping and Ronaldo's possible exit in the comments down below. And let's move on to our results of the week.
Enough of the gossip and speculation. Let's talk about the real big results of the week, which comes in from Wysak_Krishnan, which is Lille are champions. They've done it. They've gone and ended PSG's dominance over Liga. Dougie, how on earth do they do it? Take it away.
Well, I mean, PSG, first of all, they beat Brest 2-0, despite Neymar missing a penalty in embarrassing fashion in that game. But it didn't ultimately matter because Lille got the job done against Angers, winning 2-1 away from home. So they are now Liga champions for the 4th time in their history and first for a decade as well. Les Dogues started exceptionally well, with Jonathan David opening the scoring after about 10 minutes after some wonderful work from Renato Sanchez in midfield, dribbling past a few players, chipping the ball through a sort of low pass. It was beautiful. And the 21-year-old Canadian, who scored 13 league goals this season, showed some much improved form towards the back end, then won a penalty on the stroke of half-time. It did look a little bit soft, to be honest, but I think there was contact there, and it was comfortably converted by the king, Burak Yilmaz, his 8th goal in his last 9 games. I mean, it was a real team effort, this display, across the whole season by Lille. You know, multiple great performers, but it wouldn't have been done without Burak Yilmaz in the last few months. He has just been quite simply exceptional. And for a free signing from Besiktas, doesn't really get any better than that. But it's been a great turnaround for Jonathan David too. He deserves his plaudits as well. He got off to a pretty slow start. I was certainly pretty rude about him in sort of September, October time, but I've been left with egg on my face once again. I mean, he only scored 2 goals in his first 25 games for Lille, but he's netted 11 in his last 23, including winners against Marseille and PSG, and the crucial opening goal here. Very composed finish. Fulgini scored a late headed goal for Angers after the ball deflected off Benjamin Andre as well, which created a nervy final few moments, but Christophe Galtier's side eventually held on to pit PSG by a point. What a story, to be honest. In truth, it probably wasn't their best performance this season. They only had 43% possession. They had just 5 shots with 2 on target to Angers' 11 and 4, who didn't really have anything to play for after their safety was secured a few weeks ago. But they did create the better quality chances, Lille. They XG had it at 1.6 to 0.7, and they deserved it, really, this title. I think PSG have had discipline issues throughout the season. They've had plenty of losses, sort of punctuating any good form, and Lille have been more consistent. They've been top for all but one of the last 16 game weeks and gone unbeaten through their last 8 games, winning 6. So champions form, really. And Henry, I mean, it's been a long time coming, this league title. They've been great for a few years now, and it's a real victory for the whole club as well, not just the first team, the scouting department, etc.
Yeah, you're completely right. I mean, the point is, no one saw this coming at the end of the day. At the start of the season, if you said Lille were going to sort of be the sort of top dog in the French league throughout the whole season, it's just quite remarkable what they've gone and achieved. You know, they finished 4th last year, 19 points behind PSG after the Liga was curtailed. And it's a bit like that Leicester win, isn't it? It's not the most sort of giantest of points totals ever. They got 83, which is joint with PSG. That's the lowest winning total since 2014-15. But you know what, they very much deserved it. They only lost 3 games all season. They only conceded 23 goals in 38 games as well. That's 2 fewer than next best in Europe, Atletico Madrid. And you sort of saw the defence, how furious they were when they conceded that last minute goal to Angers. Really sort of lackluster. They were all getting a bit carried away on the sidelines, weren't they? Before that went in. But you know what? Massive credit to the man that everyone should be waking up to, really, Luis Campos, who he's their sporting director, and he's put together this incredible scouting network. They've made 177 million euros profit since the start of 18-19, compared to PSG, who have spent 166 million euros. Obviously, different prerogatives in terms of their transfer policies there, but Luis Campos, sporting director, he knows exactly what he's doing. He's able to turn unbelievable profits in the market. We've got an EFD explained on him, so go check it out if you want to learn more about this story. But to give you an idea, some of his big successes there: Jonathan Ikone, 5.2 million euros, Selic, 2.6 million, Benjamin Andre, one of our sort of heroes of the season, I feel like, over here on Eurofootball Daily, 7.3 million euros, Botman just over 8. Bamba, Font and Yilmaz all free transfers as well. That entire core of the team costing little over 76 million euros, about a third of what PSG paid for Neymar. Take that as you will.
Incredible.
You know, the only thing that makes me mildly sad is that it's probably going to be a one-off, isn't it? It looks like Christophe Galtier, the coach, is off to Nice. Explain that to me, someone, please. There already looks like Mike Magnon's on his way out. Also, Boubakary Samare, he looks like he's on his way to Leicester as well. Missing out on some Champions League football, so that'll be intriguing to see. But yeah, it looks like they're going to disband a little bit. And PSG, I would not be surprised to see them going big in the market this summer as well. But I mean, Dougie, I know you've not always been the most politest critic follower of French football, but you've got to admit this is pretty special what they've managed to put together.
Oh, absolutely. I think I've been reasonably keen on French football for a while now, to be fair. I think it's been underrated for a while, the talent that they produce in that league as well, the way that they've sort of turned it around and made it far more competitive over the last few years as well. But you're right, no one saw this coming at the start of the season, and it's a real victory for great management, great signings, just good structure basically. And, with Atletico Madrid winning La Liga, with Inter Milan winning Serie A, Rangers winning the Scottish Premiership, I'm sure I'm missing out some others. It did feel like the year of the underdog in this COVID-affected season without fans. It felt like the season where anything was possible. And Lille, through turning, water into wine with some of their players, have delivered a magnificent triumph. So full credit to Lille. It's just a shame that it's going to be a one-off, really. I was trying to do, when I was doing research for this script, trying to find out why Christophe Galtier wants to join Nice. And the only thing I could find was he's been at Lille for 4 years. Maybe he feels this is the pinnacle of his achievements there, but I think it's a real shame. So we'll see what happens going forward. Henry, we talked about it a bit on Continental Club last week. Which of their star players do you see will be next to move? If Soumaré is already leaving, do you think it'll be Sven Botman maybe?
Yeah, looks most likely. I think centre-backs, there's a real sort of appetite for a sort of reasonably priced... Well, I say reasonably priced, I mean around the 30 million to 40 million mark. But yeah, I think that's where the appetite really is there. I hope they can hold on to some of their players. Yilmaz will probably go nowhere. I think Jonathan David would certainly be staying as well. So it's not all doom and gloom. It's just they now need to make the right managerial appointment to push this side on. I think that's just the big next step for Lille. Absolutely. Massive credit to Lille for their magnificent triumph. And yeah, it'll be intriguing to see what PSG do next. I don't think they'll have a quiet summer. But guys, get your congratulations to Lille in the comments down below. And what did you think was the crucial moment? Maybe that 3-2 win over Lyon, which included that amazing Burak Yilmaz free kick. Get your thoughts in the comments down below. And let's move on to the star of the week. So our star of the week this week, it could only really be one man. It's Luis Suarez at the suggestion of @BraveHus24. But Henry, there was another guy we have to mention.
What? Loads of guys across Europe we can mention this week. What a weekend of football, wasn't it? But yeah, shout out to Robert Lewandowski for breaking Gerd Muller's record in Bayern's 5-2 victory over Augsburg. I was tearing my hair out as all the goal notifications were coming in and it all go to other players. I was like, what on earth are they doing? And then, sure enough, in the 90th minute, Lewandowski manages to pounce on a sort of Leroy Sané shot and poke home. Fully deserved. Unbelievable record for Robert Lewandowski. And I just want to give a quick shout out to Sean Rooney of St Johnstone, who has scored. St Johnstone have won the domestic cup double in Scotland this year. Tiny club from Perth. They've won the League Cup and their version of the FA Cup as well. And he scored the winning goal in both finals. Unbelievable results.
They were my local side growing up. I grew up about 30 minutes away from St Johnstone. They're actually the team I should support, really. But Sunderland stole my heart.
Maybe this is the year to convert, Tiki. I think if ever there was a time.
I'll apply for a transfer this summer.
Oh goodness! Yeah, congratulations St Johnstone. Congratulations to Lewandowski. Two teams and names I never thought we'd say side by side. But Luis Suarez, 34 years old, scored the winning goal as Atletico beat Real Valladolid 2-1 to win their 11th La Liga title, the first since 2014. What unbelievable season from the Uruguayan. That was his 21st goal for the campaign. A figure only topped by Messi, Gerard Moreno and Karim Benzema. That sealed the 7th league title of his remarkable 16-year career. It's just incredible, really. We saw him on the pitch at the end looking unbelievably emotional, discarded by Barcelona, unvalued, has gone to their rivals. Messi warned against this. He said he couldn't believe that it was possibly going to happen. Anyway, he's gone and powered them to a league title.
there. And, he's now won the league title in 5 of his 7 years in Spain. So he's absolutely thrived since moving over there from Liverpool. And he had a very solid all-round game. 1 aerial duel, 1 key pass, 4 shots, 1 goal, and a coolly taken one-on-one with the keeper there. Sadly sending Valladolid down. But, it was all about Suarez this week, and fully deserved, amazing season, and proved all of his doubters wrong, hasn't he? And fair play to Atletico as well, Dougie, because they've churned out another sort of classic sort of title win under Simeone.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't easy, and it was pretty ugly at points, really, in the last few months. They were stumbling across the line, but ultimately, when it came down to it, 2 crucial wins against Osasuna and Real Valladolid in the last 2 weeks have sealed the title. And it wasn't probably as one-sided as many predicted this game. Atleti had 51% possession. They had 14 shots with 3 on target, compared to 10 and 4 for the Pucella. XG had it at 1.3 to 1 in their favour. But we could have easily given Star of the Week to Angel Correa too. He, completed a tackle, completed 6 dribbles, had 1 shot, and that crucial equalising goal, an excellent goal, well worth checking out as well if you haven't done so already. The 26-year-old has been absolutely crucial to their run-in. He's got 5 goals and 2 assists in his last 9 games. But Real and Barcelona's struggles this season shouldn't overshadow the fact that Atleti have finished with 86 points, which is the 3rd highest total in their history, and 16 more than last year. So we talk about a turnaround from Lille, who finished 4th last year. Atleti, similar story, and they've won the most games, conceded the fewest goals, and were deserved champions in my eyes. Particularly given for the first half of the season they got over 50 points, run for 100 at one stage. It was a remarkable turnaround in form, and yes, it was harder than it was going to be at points, or appeared to be, but Atletico Madrid worthy champions. And I suppose another guy who deserves a shout out is Marcus Llorente, Henry, because he's been magnificent all season long as well.
Yeah, they've had some real standout players throughout that side. Marcus Llorente transformed almost from that Liverpool Champions League game, wasn't it, last season, where he scored 2. From then on in, he's just become this unbelievable sort of goal machine, creative figure. If it weren't for Messi's brilliance, I think McCubbin was saying the other day that Marcus Llorente probably deserves a shout for La Liga Player of the Season. I fully endorse that. I think he could play a starring role for Spain at the Euros this summer. I look forward to seeing that too. I've been saying this a few bit, but I'd like to say Kieran Trippier, congratulations, gone and won another league title. He's been... people don't realise how influential he's been on that Atletico team this season, other than Oblak, Suarez and Llorente, and probably Carrasco as well. He's been one of those core players that Simeone has relied on, and that a lot of their blip occurred when he was missing for about 10 games. People need to remember that too. They sort of lost a bit of wind in their sails there. So yeah, congratulations to Kieran Trippier, another ex-Tottenham player, gone on to win a league title this
I was about to say that.
Yeah, sorry.
Stick the knife in on Spurs. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, oh gosh, him and Christian Eriksen. I wonder who else had a little group chat, so having a laugh about that. But yeah, congratulations to them. Llorente too. But yeah, Dougie, I mean, I've always had a soft spot for Los Colchoneros. I love their kind of rugged style. And I mean, how far do you think they can push on next season? Because they're a bit disappointing in the Champions League this term. What do you reckon is the next step for this Atletico side, or do you think the other big sides are going to catch up with them?
It's difficult to know. I mean, Real Madrid and Barcelona in particular, their funds are going to be very tight this summer, so it's going to be very difficult for them to do massive rebuilds unless Real Madrid manage to sell a star, maybe get some wages off the books in the form of Sergio Ramos, etc. We've already talked about Barcelona getting some free signings in, Aguero and Depay, which I think will make them even more competitive next year. But we just don't know who's going to be in the dugout for Barcelona as well. There's lots of speculation around Koeman right now and whether he'll keep his job. Personally, I think he deserves another season, to be totally honest. But Atletico Madrid, it's going to be... Then they're going to be in for a shout with next year as well, and you'd expect to see the likes of Correa, 26, maybe getting a little bit better. You'd expect to see more from João Felix as well.
Yeah.
Thomas Lemar has showed some renewed form this year, so Atleti are well set, and they've got a very solid defence, as we know. Jan Oblak still in goal, who's just the world's best goalkeeper by a distance on his day, really, in my opinion. So I think they're well set to continue to push on in Spain next year. I don't really see them winning the Champions League anytime soon. No. I just feel like Bayern Munich, Man City, Chelsea, etc. Stronger teams out there at the moment. But Atleti can be very proud of their season this year. But guys, we want to hear from you, particularly if you're based in Spain. What went wrong for Real Madrid? What went wrong for Barcelona? Should they keep Koeman? And what was the crucial moment in the title race in Spain? Get your thoughts in the comments down below, and that's all we've got time for on ERU for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's our final one of the season, emotional scenes But we will be back in August to round up all the first week of action. I think it'll be in August, yeah, early August, I think. So yeah, that was it for ERU for this season. We'll be putting out new shows on a Monday, etc. As yet, the schedule isn't quite decided, so we'll give you more information as we have it. Henry, if they've enjoyed this, though, what should they go and watch next?
We released a video on the new UEFA Europa Conference League, which came out this weekend. Explains all the big questions that you've been wondering about the tournament. It's, you know what? I think it looks quite exciting. I think it needs to be given a chance. It's a tournament for the smaller nations, and people need to remember that. It's there for them. It's their moment to sort of shine. So I think it could produce some really sort of romantic, kind of exciting stories, and I'm excited to see where that tournament goes.
Perfect. There we have it. Viva la UEFA Conference League. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you next time. Bye.